What's up, y'all? Snipes-n-Snarfblatts, your unauthorized place for Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. I am your host, Jason, as always, and we just made it out of the live-action Aladdin, the brand new live-action adaptation of the animated classic. This is going to be my first thoughts coming straight out the theater, so it's like a non-spoiler mini-review. I'll get more in-depth, still non-spoiler, later on the weekend when I write out one on the website. This is going to be a quick sum-up of my first thoughts review coming out the movie. And, y'all, hands down, this is my favorite of these live-action adaptions we've done so far. This was amazing. There is no way, if you are a fan of the original Aladdin, that this will disappoint you in any way whatsoever. I couldn't believe it. It's the crazy part is, I don't know if it's because it's so fantastical or what it is, but you would honestly, from the very beginning, you just feel like you're watching an animated film just unfold before your eyes in HD or something. Because, I mean, it's just all the sets and the colors and the wardrobe and the fluent action and just all of it was put together just beautifully, would be the words to say. And the craziest part about saying this looks like an animated film and an animated classic at that and feels that vibe, just as much as it feels that vibe, it's got the Guy Ritchie imprint, like, all over it. That Guy Ritchie knows chase scenes, and the chase scenes in this movie are just amazing. Everything from running through the streets of Agrabah to the carpet chase, the big carpet climax through the cave. It's all just so breathtakingly amazing. And it's done so well. But where this movie really shines too is in the semblance of the music and how they pulled it off. And I remember being real worried at first that they were going to add this hip-hop element and that it will take away from everything. But somehow they took a Bollywood-esque musical essence and just blended it with a hip-hop element so well that it just, the synergy involved was just amazing. The choreography in some of these scenes, and I'm not just talking chase scenes when I say the choreography in these scenes, there's full out dance numbers in this that have blown away anything I've seen myself on film, in my own opinion. Like, I highly enjoyed these scenes. I looked over at my wife after one of the dance scenes and was just like, that's one of the that was awesome. Like, that was just awesome. They're so cool. Like I said, it's a real blending of the Bollywood style into an actual, like, hip-hop, pop-lock style, and it's just, oh, the choreography was on point. And the music was on point. They even added some new songs, which I told you I'd listened to the soundtrack earlier today on the show, and the soundtrack, that's when I completely, all my lack of faith in the soundtrack was gone when I finally heard it, because I scanned through it and listened to the songs we all knew, the remakes of the songs from the original, and they were great. Like, Will Smith's songs were just amazing. Mina Masada's Aladdin, his songs were great. I didn't really listen to many of Jasmine's songs other than the Token Whole New World, because hers were new, and it was that new Speechless song, so I only wanted to listen to the clip because I wanted to see how it seamlessly was into the movie and how it affected the movie and this and that. And I will say this, when the song first started, I thought to myself, what a forced spot to put a song, but it's such a great song. The song is beautiful. It made the hair stand up on my neck, and like, just by the time it was done, you didn't even care that it came out of nowhere and felt unnatural, because it was amazing. It was a beautiful song. I said, everything about this movie just radiates beauty and pays so much homage to the classic animation. But I think that's where the marketing went wrong with this. I heard a lot of people say they weren't into the marketing, and I think the marketing tried so much to tickle our nostalgia bones. They didn't give us any of what was new they were bringing to the table. And I was blown away by everything new they brought to the table. Like I said, the hip-hop Bollywood dance elements, the parkour chase scenes, like I said, the new versions of the songs, just all of that was just so great. And then where they took liberties with the story, it wasn't like taking liberties with the story where the story actually changed. Any liberty they took to defer from the story either added that much more to the whole mythology of the whole thing, or just added that much more to the logic of the whole thing. And that's one of the things that came in one of the characters I was most worried about, and that was the character of Jafar. Jafar, while he doesn't look the token sinister part of, you should know that's a bad guy from the time you see him, he's played so sinister, and he has so many extra layers than he does in the cartoon, just in personality, right? That it makes this villainous, just scumbag of a villain, and he's just so he played that beautifully. And he was joined by 3 more cast members in the form of Mina Massad's Aladdin and Naomi Scott's Jasmine and Will Smith as the genie, who were just the epitomes of their character. And I think the thing that got me the most was the chemistry between all 3 of them. Not just the chemistry between Aladdin and Jasmine, which had to be there for this to work, because in its essence, this is just a beautiful love story. But also the chemistry between Aladdin and the genie as friends. And it was just so, you bought into it. You believed it all. And that came from great performances from those 2, but even more so, just bravo, Will Smith. You had some giant shoes to fill, and you filled them and made them yours. You not doubted for a minute that this was Genie. Yeah, he wasn't Robin Williams, but this was the Genie. Like, look, I love Will Smith. I've loved Will Smith, Bad Boys, Fresh Prince, you know what I'm saying? I love old Independence Day. That's my Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? And that's the super entertainer, just always entertaining greatness Will Smith. And I have not enjoyed watching Will Smith on film as much as I enjoyed him right now in a long time. That was my old classic great cut up Will Smith, and I loved every single minute of his performance. I loved the songs. There was the point where Prince Ali meets Jasmine is like the most uncomfortable / most hilarious 10 minutes of this whole film. I was laughing until there were literally tears coming out of my eyes at the uncomfortable greatness that was the first meeting between these 2 characters. But yeah, this just blew away my expectations. And it's really, as much as I loved Beauty and the Beast, and I did think they made some improvements on the animated classic, in this one, this is the first one I walked out of saying, I can't wait to see that again. I can't wait to own that. I can't wait to see this. Oh, this feels like the feeling you get when you come out of the classics. Like, I may have respected Beauty and the Beast as being more superior of a movie to the animated one, I guess is what I'm saying. Because y'all know I loved that movie, and I actually liked it more than that because they built on so much more. This one, however, this one is the first one that really just feels endless time classic to me. I mean, like I said, it's magical. It feels like an animated film. It will bring the kid out in you while you watch it. And just everything was great. Even Yago, the damn parrot, they used him perfectly by making him feel like a real parrot, but still being just animated enough to still be a funny character, like he was coming straight out of a cartoon, but not as cartoony as the cartoon. And that's where they took their liberties, is where they pulled back from the cartoon. I immediately caught on to why Jasmine's friend was there. Perfect addition. It added just layers to this that needed to be added. Like I said, the extra layers of Jasmine added so much more to this. They really fleshed her out as more so of a character that she portrayed in the animated, but just never really got the screen time to delve into, and they gave her that in this. But like I said, the back and forth, the love story between Aladdin and Jasmine was just golden. The friendship was so believable between Will and Aladdin, and Jafar was a villain that just, y'all, he was sick. Like, just the way he was portrayed, but more so the sets, the beauty of this, the Cave of Wonders itself. All of it was handled so naturally and on such a massive scale that, like I said, if you were ever a fan of the animated classic, do not skip seeing this. See it in the biggest place you can see it. It is truly a spectacle. You will love this film. So like I said, go down in the details. As always, subscribe, hit the bell. While you're down there, hit those links to Facebook and Twitter and follow us, and you will know this weekend, the second I put out the more in-depth, I'm going to break everything down piece for piece and really get into it. But this is my first thoughts coming out. Y'all will not be disappointed in this film. Go see it. Read my review this weekend, and we'll talk back and forth and get into it after that and see what y'all think about the same thing. So like I said, go down there in the details after you subscribe and hit the bell and follow all those links. And oh, y'all, this was such a great film. But in the words of the illustrious Genie, no, you ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had a friend like me.